Hey guys, I'm Tiffany H. Lewis. Welcome back to another episode of Mandela Effects. Well, the holiday season is upon us, so I'd like to talk about some Halloween Mandela effects, and I'd like to talk about some rare Mandela effects that no one else talks about. But before I can proceed with that, I'm sure that many of you know that I put a video out like less than 12 hours ago, I think. I don't know, yesterday or today, like at 3 o'clock this morning. And I was going through such turmoil just trying to put the video out because it was biblical Mandela effects. And, you know, maybe that upset a lot of people that I pushed out a video that got dark really fast, but that's what it did. That's it. That's just what it is. Maybe at some point I can come back to it later and be like, okay, Luke said this, and then Matthew and I did show those examples in the video, but maybe next time if I reapproach it, it won't go dark on me so fast that like my head starts spinning and I become under, you know, demonic attack and possession and all that stuff. But anyway, this channel has nothing to do with that. I have a whole other channel for that. So real quick, a couple of very obvious ones, and I've stated this multiple times, but I'm going to say it one more time for the record. I do realize I am stating Mandela effects that everyone already knows about. Obviously, I know that. The reason that I'm doing these really, really popular ones is because my intentions are to show you really, really rare ones that no one talks about. So in order to do that first, I have to show you what everyone else knows. Kit Kat, Skechers, Berenstein Bears, all that, Forrest Gump, all that cool stuff. I'm going to throw a couple at you and then we'll proceed with ones that nobody knows about. And if you haven't seen my video where I was like literally talking, I was looking for the book, where I was literally talking about the book that said, I'm about to read you 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and I had the physical book in my hand, which is like right back there, I just can't get to it. After watching the video, it literally did not anymore say 'twas the night before Christmas. It said the night before Christmas. If you haven't seen that video, look at that video, because that one just right in front of my eyes blew me away. The one with Donder and Blixum, whatever. So yeah, now I'm seeing words fall off of pages and books change titles, basically. And it's crazy because at the time that I made that specific video that I'm referring to, it literally did say 'twas the night before Christmas. And again with that, like, did I blink or did I just not see the words? Did I imagine the word 'twas? No, because Audible read it. Same author, same time, same book. And even ALEXA over there said it. And I have that on video. So if you haven't seen that one, check it out. See how the Mandela effects affect me when I literally watch words fall or drop off of pages and or books or change titles, which I knew were there at the moment that I was recording it, because why would I do that? Like, it doesn't even make sense why I would record 'twas the night before Christmas with book in hand if it only was called the night before Christmas. So that one kind of like blew me away, and I think I like maybe hid in my room for like a day or two and just was like, yeah, I'm not touching anything for like a day or two. I really had to deal with that. I'm not even kidding. That one really messed me up for a whole minute. And then I started to work on the biblical Mandela effects, and that took a good 2 weeks. And it got dark very quickly, which I have no problem with, but you know, I'm as open-minded as they get. I believe in a lot of stuff. I'm just, I'm not a whistleblower. I don't put like intel out there, but I just, you know, I call it as I see it. If I see it, even if I'm wrong, I'm the first one to admit that I'm wrong, and here's how it is, and that's the truth. End of story. That's literally how it is and how it will always be with me. You know that you can count on me to, even if I'm wrong, admit that I'm wrong. And yes, I know my dog is still going crazy. He's a dog, they bark. Back in the 90s, I think. Oh, Lord. You know, I'm just gonna sit back and do this while I'm telling you this one, because this one, like, I'm not gonna say it upsets me, but maybe I need a, like, little distraction while I'm doing it, because it's annoying. All right, this one's pretty big to me, but that doesn't mean it's big to you. I have done extensive research on this movie, E.T. In the very beginning of the movie, E.T. says, "E.T. phone home." Everybody remembers that iconic line. And I remember it because not only have I seen it a million times, but every one of my nieces and nephews, they all say, "TT phone home." Well, as it turns out, E.T. only says E.T. phone home one time in the beginning of the movie. For the duration of the movie, he says E.T. home phone. Don't believe me? Google it. I know. It sucks. Moving on. You might want to get a drink and get cozy, because this next one I'm about to bombard you with pictures for and goes in so many directions. Yeah. So, I said I was going to do a Christmas Mandela Effects video. In researching that extensively, I found out that, like, here's a globe, right? And at the top is the North Pole. And at the bottom of, like, the literal globe, or Google Earth, this is a huge thing that bothers a lot of people on Google Earth. It was there. They say it was there. They swear it was there. I'm not even going to go there. I know it was there. It was there. North Pole, South Pole. It's like one extreme to the other. Now, South Pole had, like, penguins and icebergs and things like that. North Pole had polar bears and Santa Claus. That's where Santa Claus lives. Where are you and your children sending these letters to every single year? Santa Claus comes from the North Pole. And he brings our kids presents. Hello? So if you look at Google Earth right now, and I will be dropping pictures right here. This is one of the ones that, like, is probably going to make me throw something across the room. It's going to make me crazy. The North Pole does not exist. There is territory. There is land, like, unclaimed land. You got, like, Finland, and you've got, like, all these other, not a lot of, but a few places, like, that even have gone so far out of their way to be like, nah, Santa never lived in the North Pole. And even if he did, it's like a river. It's not like icebergs. It's not snow. It's not Finland. It's not Norway. It's not Antarctica. It's not any of these things where him and his reindeer would, magically sleigh ride across the world and deliver all the presents to all the kids on Christmas Eve or Christmas whatever time. No. Santa's actually wearing, like, Bermuda shorts, and wherever the North Pole used to be, it's not there anymore. It's not on Google Earth anymore. It's not on the maps. It disappeared. This is a big one because it's like the Australia, New Zealand. Which one moved? How about Mongolia? It went from, like, this size to, like, this size. Why are we moving continents, countries, states? Oh my God, that one with the 50, 51, 52, 49 states. That one killed me. Almost as much as Dilemma. I think maybe because I'm, like, a grammar freak. I think Dilemma is one that I'm never gonna get over. Ever. And that's, no. I'm never gonna admit that it's spelled D-I-L-E-M-M-A. Nope. The N is silent. Just like, I don't know, any other word where the N is silent. But yeah, no, North Pole's not on the map anymore. And even if it were, you know, like it's like a piece of land on the top of a literal globe. Okay, so look, let me just grab something that's in my sight. All right, let's pretend like this is a globe. The North Pole is right here. The South Pole is right here. We've got penguins and things like that. And ice, lots of ice. Like, think about Titanic and the ice and everything like that. It's like huge glaciers of ice. This is the North Pole. So it's north, so that would make it warmer there. And there is, you know, polar bears, but not penguins. Fine. But up here, it sort of reminds me of that fake NASA thing where they like said they went to the moon, and then if you ever watch the video about it, like girlfriend's hair is like flying and they're supposed to be like upside down in gravity, and her hair is like really like hair-sprayed together, and it moves. Now if you're floating in zero gravity, your hair is not moving, period, point blank. North Pole up here doesn't exist. Look on a map, look on a globe. No North Pole. So, for the Mandela Effect believers that say, well, it's nothing to do with quantum physics or quantum theory or space, time, that's a separate argument from parallel universes, sort of. And I'll give you that. So, like Shazam and Kazam, I guess, if you're not old enough to know what I'm talking about, then I guess you could consider that, well, in my prior, you know, parallel universe or reality. Yep, I remember seeing Sinbad with whatever color leotard he was wearing, and fine, he dressed up as a genie. Who cares? Like, why would you even go through all the trouble to be like, no, I didn't do that? And Shaquille O'Neal was like, oh, no, that was me. I was the one who did it. It was a basketball movie and Looney Tunes was in it. Like, why would you even bother doing that? You're making it a bigger deal so that it stands out more. And then people like me who come across it and go, yeah, it's not really a big deal. But you're making it a big deal. Therefore, it is now a big deal. And as I'm realizing, it turns out that's a huge piece of the quote unquote Mandela effects. You make it a really big deal. That way, everybody notices it. It's just like a distraction, right? Make a really big deal, create a distraction from whatever's actually going on, and then, yep, everybody's talking about that. I don't even have words for what to call that other than just plain dumb. Why? Because you keep leaving the evidence behind. You are leaving the trail of breadcrumbs behind so I can find my way to the gingerbread house. Just saying. Now, the North Pole and the South Pole, that's a big deal. So is the Australia and New Zealand one. Why? Because they moved. And the North Pole didn't just move. That means that everything that you know about Santa Claus and the North Pole, and literally everything that you know about Christmas, or let's just say, you know, the Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights. You can see in Finland, and the igloos that you can stay in like Norway and Finland. There is a place called like Christmas Town. I've looked into this because I've wanted to do it forever. I've always wanted to go, but you have to wait like every 7 years to get like the best chance. Like, I even have an application on my phone that tells me, you know, tonight's going to be a clear sky. The odds of you seeing the Aurora Borealis turn green are, you know, 8%. Fine. I know what time of year that happens. I know where it happens. That's Norway. That's Finland. That's Sweden. But those are all right here. Right up here. Where's the North Pole? How does a whole entire North Pole dissipate from every globe in the world? Somebody please tell me, if you're going to get rid of the North Pole, why wouldn't you 86 the South Pole as well? If you're going to say there's a North Pole and a South Pole, so this is sort of the middle of the earth, right? North, south, middle. South Pole still exists down at the bottom of the earth. So as penguins. I don't know if you could thrive or survive there, but all right, so there you go. There is the last two most obvious Mandela effects. And now it's time for me to get serious. And I am so excited for y'all right now because, as I've stated multiple times, and I've been called out for it multiple times, they're like, oh, well, you're just saying like all the Mandela effects that everyone else is saying. Yeah, I know, that's the point. The point is, has been, always will be, I want to try to gain a number. Why is this number important? I don't know. The number, you know, the X amount of people that either believe this or this is not really as important as, do you remember it this way? Do you remember it that way? And why? Why is nobody like thinking on a quantum theory, quantum physics level? I mean, this is flat science. This is serious science. This is physics. There is nothing about it that is not quantum theory. Nothing. Even if we did go with the 4G, 5G, 5D, 5E, whatever. Every one of those is a different dimension. What do you think the D stands for? Yeah, you get faster internet, all right, but you know what else you get? More radiation and, yeah, more people die from cancer, from exposure to that radiation, and yeah. In my parallel reality, wherever it is that I come from, I'm here visiting you in 2019, 2020 on planet Earth. You think we're really the only planet in the whole universe that could have life on it? You think everyone who's ever reported some kind of alien or UFO, which I don't mean it in a sci-fi aspect, I mean it, or even in a paranormal, I mean unidentified flying object, the literal definition. You think that every person who's ever reported having any kind of sightings of anything, you know, I'm not going to go there with Bigfoot, but I guess you could put that in that category if you wanted to. Are they all making it up? Because this is kind of what this feels like to me right now. It seems like we're running into a Bigfoot thing or an alien thing. Have you ever Googled how many people actually believe in extraterrestrial life? What about the fact that NASA keeps coming out with this crap about there being able to be life on Mars, and it's so much like ours, and Mars isn't the only one. That's just one of the ones. So if we live in an infinite universe with infinite realities, of course they're parallel. And like I said a minute ago, somebody asked somebody today, and I caught a glimpse of it. They said, well, if we live in parallel universes, why don't they cross? Because you have to get to a certain point to see it for where it is here. Once you are down, like Fruit Loops, Fruit, elevate, raise yourself up, 3D, 4D, 5D, 5G, become a better person, become a more positive person. Finally, you're able to see things. That's why the words change right in front of my eyes. That's why Donder happened, and 'twas the night before Christmas. 'Twas the entire word, it just literally disappeared. Okay, so how did that happen? Well, I know what I did, like consciously as a person. I raised my energy and I raised my vibration and became a more positive person. So now I'm seeing what the cool kids today have been seeing the whole time. FROOT loops. Nobody said they were crossing. That's a whole other conversation. But then again, I have a slippage argument. I believe that we can slip in and out of time travel. You can fight me on it all you want, but you can't win the argument any more than I can't prove that you dream. or that deja vu is somehow arguable. No, you can't do that. Somebody says deja vu, and I've talked about this once before already. You can't be like, oh, no, you didn't. Prove it. What? Prove the sky is blue. And children are funny like that. On a little side note there. Children ask why. Their favorite word is why. Why? Why is the sky blue? I don't know. Because the sky is blue. Mommy, why does it rain? Oh, shit. I don't know why it rains. Why don't you look up to the sky that's blue and like ask the sky that's blue why it's raining right this second and stops 4 seconds later? Why does it rain at the same time every single day in Tampa for an hour and a half? At the same time every day for like an hour or an hour and a half? Explain global warming. You know, some things not everyone can explain, and some things everyone seems to have their own opinion on. You can't win. And then there's colors. Colors are a different thing. Like, my blue and your blue might not be the same blue. And I don't mean in the chartreuse kind of way. Whatever level we are operating on, you know, like attracts like. The law of attraction specifically states that if you want something bad enough, all you have to do is ask for it and want it and think about it and put it out there into the universe until it happens. And it will happen as long as you don't have a shadow of a doubt. Now, I realize that's nothing to do with the Mandela Effect. Maybe. Or maybe it is. Maybe we're finally done being insulted enough, and maybe we finally are doing our research. So we're like, you know what? Our soul has been insulted enough with this crap and this crap and this crap and this crap. So maybe we do raise our vibration, our energy level, and operate on a higher frequency. And maybe now we see it for what the cool kids today always saw it. Fruit, F-R-O-O-T loops. North Pole. Yep, you disappeared. It's gone. Google Earth it. Why? Oh, and this is what kills me. Why are we forced to go to these institutions? Educational institutions. Religious institutions. Forced to learn all this crap that we don't care about. They're like, oh, you're going to need it later in life. Really? Am I now? Well, this is later in life. You know that test I failed with the globe that says draw the North Pole, and I drew the North Pole at the north where the North Pole used to be? I would fail that test now. What? And God forbid you try to correct a teacher. Oh Lord, they are like almighty correct, and you are just an opinionated bonkers person who says there's no North Pole in the manner of or as we were taught and led to believe because of these educational institutions that forced us to learn this stuff. But more so says there was a North Pole. Huh? There wasn't. There was. There was. So. Oh my God. Think about every Christmas movie and every Christmas thing in the whole wide world. Where does Santa come from? The North Pole. Every single book. History books. Geography books, Google Earth, which yes, I realize it's an application / whatever on your phone. Yeah, maps, globes. Okay, I get it. You're looking at it from the Earth is round perspective. Have you ever considered the fact that maybe the Earth is 2D? Things that happen in the matrix that we live in, this slippage, where we kind of go back and forth. Maybe we are just kind of interweaving. Nobody said we had to be crossing paths. They're parallel, but there's doors and windows and portals Fact. Fruit, F-R-O-O-T loops. North Pole. Oh, sorry, kids. Every book, every movie, everything you have ever been taught about Santa Claus or the North Pole or his workshop at the North Pole is not true. What, did we all just make up this word? Let's say I'm after some number. I have to take the world and I have to divide it in half. Not because I like division, but because I have to, because I have no other number to go on. Do you ever recall there being a North Pole? Ever? Do you think that there is no such thing as the North Pole, even though I have proof of it, even though there's a South Pole? And what's with the pole? That's a whole other argument, because a pole back in, like what we were taught in school, it's like, the first pioneers, the first people, they would, put their pole in there to stake their land. The earth is round, then it rotates on an axis, right? And if the earth is round, and the North Pole's up here, and the South Pole's down here, why is now west, north, and east gone? Why is south the only one that still exists? Are we upside down? Do you know what duality is? I do that sometimes. I throw trigger words at people. Duality is a word you might want to get comfortable with me, because I'm going to use it a lot. Remember, you can only perceive what it is that you believe. For those of you that are blown away right now, hold on, please, because it's about to get much worse. I'm going to be up all night for you guys making videos tonight. I've had everything in the whole wide world try to hold me back for making videos for 2 weeks. I finally got to push that one video out like at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock this morning, whatever time it was. So we're good. Anyway, it's good to see you guys. I'll see you again next time. That is the last time, hopefully. I'm not promising anything because, I am in a parallel universe visiting you from wherever I time travel from. So personally, I think I'm Pleiadian and I'm, a reptilian. So I don't know, I'm visiting you from wherever, and when I visit you, we're both at the grocery store and we both buy FROOT loops, fine. And I think that Santa comes from the North Pole because every book and movie I've ever seen said that. And you are like, no, we've never seen the North Pole. So back to the age thing for a minute. Is it only a specific age group? Because when did it begin? Because whatever you think the answer is to that question, I guarantee you're wrong. Time travel has been going on since before World War I. This has a lot to do with something that I talk about a lot on another channel that I have. I'm not going to intermix the two channels. This one, I will stick with Mandela Effect. Okay, we all know about the Ford logo and the Volkswagen logo. Okay, we get it. We know about the logos. We know about the food. We know about the things that are spelled differently. We know about life is like a box of chocolates. Now you know about Shazam versus Kazam and that nobody actually cares. If it were me, I would have just been honest and been like, yep, I dress up as a genie. You're an actor, so what? Good. I mean, like, the fact that you're making such a big deal to argue that you didn't is the problem. That's the problem. Where are all these pictures surfacing from? Same thing with the North Pole. Santa's literally on a boat, like catching fish with a fishing pole, like in Bermuda shorts. Honestly, like Hawaiian shorts, like just catching fish. South Pole, globe. Santa used to reside here in what used to be the North Pole. Good thing I made a video about it now before they went in and changed, back to the conspiracy theory aspect. They're going to have to change it in every movie. Every movie that's ever said anything like the North Pole, about the North Pole. It makes me wonder if they're trying to make a more mystical / magical place where Old Saint Nick or Santa Claus does or did reside, and Christmas Land is a real thing. Google it. Look into Finland. Look at the Aurora Borealis. And it just makes me wonder if it's all part of an illusion, you know, a little bit of illusionism. I've talked about mind trickery before, and I've talked about how they make these really big deals out of such little things. It's a diversion. It's a complete distraction. Why would anybody go through all the trouble to create that much of a distraction unless they had an agenda? So what if, hypothetically, they have an agenda? They're going to make Christmas a place. If there's still a Santa in 6 months or a year from now, he comes from a magical, mystical place that used to be called the North Pole, or may even get coined whatever term they decide to, you know, make it be. However, it's not really on the map because it's mystical and magical. Maybe that's it. You know, I'm a believer. I give people the benefit of the doubt, and I believe in making dreams come true and fulfilling children's wishes. And it would be great to hear that that was the reason it's a Mandela effect. Why they took away the North Pole is for the very specific reason of helping children, you know, realize that Santa Claus comes from a mystical, magical place that is or used to be called the North Pole, or whatever they term it as next. And, you know, here comes his sleigh. Can't you hear the bells ringing? Maybe that's it. I hope that's it. So that it would remain a magical, mystical place for children every year on Christmas Eve. Hear the sleigh bells ringing, and I get to continue reading 'Twas the Night Before Christmas every year to, you know, tens of thousands, if not more, of children, and that their belief system doesn't change, that they're not forced into reality so young and so quickly. Can they just have like one day a year where we pretend that there's a North Pole and a Santa Claus? Because the magic of Christmas is exactly that. It's magic. I would love to hear it say, yep, it's a magical, mystical place. It's not even on the map. It's like a treasure hunt. Can't find it anywhere. To the teachers back in the day that told me that I had to learn a bunch of crap I didn't want to learn because I knew it wasn't true. I didn't know why it wasn't true. I just knew that it wasn't true and that I wasn't going to need it later in life. I'm sorry to tell you that I was right and you were wrong. And if I were to take the same test today that I took 20 years ago, I would fail. Now wouldn't I? All right. I have some awesome Mandela effects for you. I might do Halloween next. I haven't seen anybody do any on Halloween. I haven't seen anybody do anything on Thanksgiving. I haven't seen anybody do anything on a lot of things. And I might actually take it a step further that prove what I've been saying since the beginning of this video, that it is quantum. It is definitely quantum physics, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Why is it called the Mandela Effect? Has anyone ever questioned that? Have you ever just sat there and said, why is it called the Mandela Effect instead of, you know, some other thing? Why is the definition have 3 separate definitions aside from mine? You know what my definition is. I'm telling you, it's quantum physics. It's CERN created a black hole, period, end of story. It changed everything. And now they're trying to convince all of us prior to that black hole being created that we're crazy, and Forrest Gump never said that, even though the box still says it. But whatever, maybe it doesn't say it, so it did not happen. You are experiencing a Mandela effect. Yeah, I'm experiencing the effects, all right. However, where is it coming from? It's coming from somewhere. Do you really think we're all just crazy? No, I don't. I think it's quantum physics at its finest. I do realize that every other channel has done the same thing, so I'm just trying to be consistent. So thank you for kind of hanging in there with me while I did, name the most obvious ones that everybody obviously knows about. Now I'm ready to show you the ones that nobody knows anything about, or at least isn't talking about. So whatever position that puts me in, fine. You can call it a Mandela effect. It's not a crime. See you soon.